Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome this week to another review. This time we're back into FSX Steam Edition when we're looking at Aerosoft's re-release of their F-16 AM, or their F-16A, and its various iterations throughout its lifestyle from Aerosoft on through Steam as DLC for the updated version of FSX on Steam from Dovetail Games. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, we're going to have a quick overview like we normally do for our aircraft, and we're going to have a quick look, see what it's like, and then we are going to have some fun, have a bit of fly around, and we're going to give, of course, my final reviews of it. Alrighty, so here we are, and this is the beautiful Aerosoft F-16. So this is the F-16, this particular one is the AM, with a couple of nice weapons on it. Now, we're going to have a look, as we always do, we're going to have a look at the external model first, and some of the beautiful sort of shadowing and shading you can see going through there as well. So the external model is pretty nice. Now you do get a couple of variants. You get the F-16A, the original release of it. You also get the AM, which was the version which was this aircraft was the model was primarily based on, and all the documentation was based on. It was done by a in consultation with some manuals and things provided by former Royal Dutch Air Force maintainers and engineers. So we can see, yeah, it's got so this one's the AM, so the later model. Funny enough, if you want to know how to tell the gills where the cannon is, as you can see here, there's only two gills there, which means it's either it's definitely not the original A, it's either the later AM or a C model, or basically anything other than the original A. Now, speaking of variants, you do get, as I said, the F-16A, along with the AM. You also get the F-16C as well. Now, none of the two-seaters, only the single-seaters are portrayed in this, and you get a variety of different weapons configurations. This one, for example, here is armed with a pair of AIM-120 AMRAAMs. So there we are. It's the AIM-120 there, and then below it we've got the AIM-2000. So that's sort of like the future sort of medium-range air-to-air missile as well. Along with it, this one's also got some 370-gallon drop tanks, and of course a Lantern laser designation pod there as well. A couple of the other weapons options you do get laser-guided bombs. You've got your traditional, of course, the AIM-9 Sidewinders, you know, sort of very ubiquitous when it comes to the aircraft, the F-16, and having us on those wingtips or below wing mounts. You also get options of conformal fuel tanks, so the fuel tanks that sort of sit just along beside the spine of the aircraft. More common in later models, in the later E models, it was more common in. Sometimes retrofitted to Cs, but yeah, primarily it was more something that you saw featured on the later models used by mostly by the Israelis, but also by some European NATO countries in some of the later blocks and marks. So yeah, as you can see, as I said, we're looking at a model that is pretty highly detailed and very nicely done. So what we're going to do is we're going to taxi out to the runway here. Now we're just in default. We're just in a default FSX airport today. What we're in is that we are looking at we're in Okinawa today, as we let's just sort of circle this around. She just does look good, doesn't she? She really does. Now, quick little bit of, as we're taxiing to the runway here, a quick little bit of history on the F-16. So, the F-16 was competing against the YF-17 for the US Air Force's lightweight fighter program. The lightweight fighter program sort of was a bit of a I wouldn't say it was a political sort of gamble, but you know, it did incorporate a lot of lessons learnt from the experiences of Korea and from Vietnam as well, which meant that it was something that people definitely wanted to look at, something that's a lot more maneuverable and can operate in various different forms as well. Alright, now as we line up here on the runway, we're going to do some pre-flight, so we're going to make sure our HUD and everything is up and running and working, and we'll have a quick look around the cockpit while we're here. Alrighty, so we'll look around in, of course, in the now this is very, very beautifully modelled here as well. It's something very, very impressive to see. We just, yeah, this is it. They've gone to some real amazing detail here, and it is very impressive by what you see. Now we'll just arm our bang seat. There we go. Alright, now we're going to switch our HUD on. And yep, HUD is now on. Fantastic. Now we're going to put on our MFDs. Move down to those. There we go. So we'll power all them up. Stores. Yep. Oh, nope, don't think that one actually. Does that one click? Yep, okay. I'll move that one. Go. Back to the nav. Alright, there we go. So, we got a lot of sort of working clicks and switches and all sorts of fun things here. You've got your up here. So this is your sort of mode, so you can actually sort of track your targets better and stuff like that. Unfortunately, your weapons are not deployable, so that's not something that is done in this. It is not set up to be that. Never and not compatible with TACPAC, which is your normal sort of weapons program that it gets used for FSX. But you can change the HUD and how it looks, so you can actually have better tracking of your air-to-air targets or air-to-ground stuff, though the air-to-ground mode is disabled in this. Your MFDs can also sort of rotate through different examples and stuff like that, so you can see various things like ILS feathers. You can program just so you got your VOR stations on and off, airports on and off. Basically, a lot of stuff that you would normally find on your GPS map, you can actually put through here as well. You can have your aircraft on and off. I'll have the aircraft on for today. I've got a couple of AI kicking around, and of course you've got your radar over here as well. Now your stores management, yep, there you go, stores management system there, but again, doesn't really show you anything because none of the weapons are actually deployable. And get your standard HSIs up as well, and or just bring it back up to the map display there. So, yeah, quite interactive, nice to see. Just as I said, doesn't do any of your weapons explosions or anything like that. But hey, you know, we're here to fly, not to blow stuff up all the time. Alrighty, well, I think that just about does that one. So we shall get this beautiful bird into the air. Alright, now we'll check our controls free and clear. Yes, they are. Fantastic. Oh, loving the track IR. So good. If you don't have track IR yet for Flight Simulator, you really, really are missing out. Alright, let's get this engine winding up. And off we go. Yeah, F-16 has a funny little thing with its pilots. It has a 30-degree recline on the bank seat, and has this, as you can see, this beautiful all-round visibility afforded to it by its bubble canopy. Start to rotate here. Up we go. Gear up. There. As you can see, it handles very nicely. You've got a very nice climb rate, and it feels, you know, even with these doors on here, sort of limiting, sort of, you know, moving and stuff like that, it really does feel like you're actually, you know, able. You can feel how, you know, why it was known as a very beautiful and very reactive fighter, and why it was very popular among its pilots, and of course among its ground crews as well. So yeah, it's something very, very impressive, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoying having my room with this. Absolutely a lot of fun. Alright, now let's see. Okay. going flat out and low. See if we can, how much we can annoy these ships. Alright. Okay. Alright, now that's... Oh, well, that full burner can really reduce your maneuverability, it really does. Now we'll roll out over the top of the clouds here. Now I've heard a few stories of various operators, of some of the international operators, and some of the things that they always get up to. A lot of fighter pilots always love anything to do with high speed and anything like that. So yeah, you can imagine that having a little pocket rocket like this F-16 is definitely always going to you know, make fighter pilots very, very happy and enjoy themselves a hell of a lot. Some of the other cool things to get modelled this is, like, for example, what we can see there, vapor trails. As we're coming through sort of the high G manoeuvres, you're actually getting the vapor trail coming off the aircraft, which is something that's really nice to see. It's a feature that I think gets neglected a lot in some models. Like, you know, so it's these cool little features that actually make a model and make a flying experience in the especially the fast type jets a lot more entertaining than just sort of puttering around. You can also notice there that you've got the sort of faint smoke trail coming out of the back there. Jet engines burn, you know, the newer modern jet engines burn quite clean, but this is, you know, the same engine that's powering the F-15 Eagle. The Eagle, of course, has two of them, yeah, you do have that sort of slight haze coming out the back, and that is yeah, again, one of those nice attentions to detail that does impress me a fair bit about this. So yeah, I'm really kind of liking it. I think it's kind of cool. So alright, what we're going to do is we're going to do high speed brake over the runway here, and we're going to come into land. I think that's a lot of fun. Alright, now the question is, I've got to find the airport again, of course, now. Oh wait, there it is. There it is. Found it. Found it. All this jockeying around at high speed. So yeah, you've got the interactive displays, and the texture quality is pretty damn awesome. Like, you know, I'm impressed by the displays here on the screen to actually be able to show everything that you want to see, and it does it in a way that is, yeah, it does that whole balance between reality and between sort of simulation and reality, and finding the two together. So, right. Now, actually, I've got to do one thing. I haven't really pushed it. I'm going to have a look at the... Alright, sounds silly, I know, but I'm always curious to see afterburner effects in these aircraft. So, camera back, let's go up. And you know what? Complete with the moving vanes from the engine, as well as the shock diamonds, so I am suitably impressed. Not bad. And yeah, the nozzle closing like that. Very impressed. Okay, Aerosoft, I am suitably impressed by that now. Alright, so let's come back around as we fly through a bit of cloud there. Alright. So it uses downwind. Alright, so we're bleeding a bit of airspeed out here. Brakes out, slow down a bit, tuck it back in. I've got our gear down. Our flaps. Now, probably I would say that the HUD's a little hard to see, and unfortunately you can't actually adjust the brightness of the HUD. And unfortunately there's no option to actually have a helmet mount sort of display that you can overlay over the top of it, which is actually a feature in the aircraft, is actually to have the helmet mounted displays. So bit of a shame that that hasn't been put in here. And also I notice as we've got the gear down here that don't actually have the landing ladder doesn't pop out in the nav display, which is a bit of a shame, and provides a bit more of a challenge then, especially when you're sort of doing the approaches and stuff like that, because well, I must admit, perhaps I'm just becoming a bit lazy because I'm used to seeing the ladder on my HUD, and the fact that I don't have it here is a little annoying. Alright, so a little off-center here, but that's alright. That's dropped. Come in. Use most of the runway, I think, for this one. And nice and easy. Go. And speed brakes out, there we go. And slowing down. So yes, okay, so yeah, look, the flight characteristics are pretty good. You definitely do get the feeling of the aircraft that she's meant to be. And how that she does sort of, you know, fly very handily, and as I said, like the Afterburner not too bad, and the movement of the jet pipe probably more important than you realise, especially for me. I really appreciate this kind of attention to detail with Lux Vapor, so in that regard it's pretty good. So that's the positives. Now on to some of the negatives. So this colour scheme you see here is one of only two. There are only two colour schemes included in this package. You have this grey one, and then you have a sort of a blue type aggressor one. That's it. Now this is supposed to be a direct port over of the Aerosoft F-16 Fighting Falcon X. That they've had out for FSX for a couple of years, updated and checked out, ready for F-16 edition, and brought straight in. Unfortunately, what they've also done is they've gutted all of the repaints out and all of the different colour schemes. All the model files are there, because you get quite a variety of model files there, but you just don't get any of the colour schemes. Now, I find this a little bit insulting on two levels. So one, people are expecting to get, you know, you see the Aerosoft name, you're expecting to get the same product that people have had reasonably good things to say about for the last couple of years. And don't get me wrong, the flight model's pretty damn good, and the visual model is very nice. The flight dynamics not too bad, having not flown a real F-16 myself, but you know, I've seen pretty damn good. A lot of fun. You get the feeling that, you know, you got stores on, you can't, you know, throw it around as much as we just saw there, but you can still have a lot of fun with it. However, the fact that they've chosen to not put in any of the repaint, any of the liveries that are in the standard edition for your classic FSX, quite frankly, I find that a bit rude and insulting, because not only are people expecting the same product, that there's, you know, or an updated version of the product that has been available for a while, but they're also expecting, you know, and quite frankly, if you're one of the artists that put all their, you know, a lot of work, as a, you know, repainter myself, putting all the effort into those repaints, you have no idea the countless hours and effort and, you know, research and effort that goes into making those. And to have these guys not put it in and not tell the public, yeah, that's just plain bloody insulting. So, what's my thoughts? Well, look, overall I can't complain about the aesthetics of it. I can't complain about the flight model too much. But I'll be honest, don't buy it. Like, seriously, do not buy it. If you want to get the Aerosoft F-16 and you want to get the, you know, the couple of missions that it comes with and all that kind of fun stuff, you know what? Buy the original edition, the original main edition for FSX Box Edition, and manually install the damn thing on Steam, on your Steam edition. Do not buy it through Steam, because quite frankly, I'm disgusted and I'm insulted. I tried reaching Aerosoft for comment about why there were no paint, you know, why they've done this. and they never got back to me. So you never know, maybe this review going live will bring them back to me, I don't know. But I'm very unimpressed Aerosoft, very unimpressed Dovetail. On top of that, the installation was an absolute nightmare. It's the way they're installing DLC into Steam Edition of FSX. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. They seem to have maybe cured the bug for this one, but at one point I was manually copying the stuff over to Flight. Now that I'm recording the view note, the installer seems to be working as it should, but seriously, it was very, very unimpressed by my experience for this one. So, yes. Anyway, alright. Well, anyway, look, that's my review. As I said, overall verdict is not a bad little aircraft, but if you're going to get the one from a flight sim retailer, get the one for classic FSX, but just install it into your Steam Edition. That's going to be my suggestion, my outcome here for this one today. Well, folks, thanks very much for tuning in to my little review and my little look over the Aerosoft F-16 X expansion for add-on DLC for FSX Steam Edition. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and liking the channel. As always, you can also find out all the other things I'm up to by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Thank you very much, folks. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.